Will we put out an opinion poll? Injustice has been done to the people, poor people and middle class people. I used to give the cylinders, gas cylinders, as a petroleum minister. I was petroleum minister for less, 350 rupees and 400 rupees. Now, what is the price? How can the people will be happy if you create unrest among the society? In the name of religion, in the name of caste, they are some sort of encounter specialists, these BJP people, and their Sangh Parivar. And they target people. Right from 2014, Narendra Modi has come, he became Chief Minister, continued to become Prime Minister, only with the encashing upon such bubbles. And that bubble cannot be perennial support for him.
Welcome to another election show. Today we are with senior Congress leader, ex-Chief Minister of Karnataka, ex-Law Minister of the country, Mr. Veerappa Moily with us. Welcome to Newslaundry, sir.
Thank you.
We are covering Karnataka election and we are trying to understand the campaign, where it's going on. I would like to ask you, being a senior Congress leader, my first question is, this, and you made so many comments in recent time over this reservation thing. The 4% minority reservation, which is revoked by the BJP government. And you said Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, they are speaking like illiterate person speaking. Why do you think they are illiterate people?
Because they have not understood the backward class concept at all. The backwards are those people, who are socially and educationally backward, not economically backward. Before this reservation order or OBCs, all the OBCs, which includes Muslims, have been done in 93 when I was Chief Minister of Karnataka.
Okay.
So it is not just a off the cuff reservation order. It was done after a thorough study, because Chinnappa Reddy Commission itself, was based upon, recommendations were based upon the house-to-house survey, and he was a Supreme Court judge, a retired judge, and he conducted a thorough study. Then, when we examined it for implementation, because it was 2-3 years it was not implemented after submission of the report, I took upon myself for implementation. And as far as the Muslims are concerned, Muslims and other minorities are concerned, I gave 45 lakhs to the Karnataka State Minority Commission to conduct house-to-house survey.
Okay.
They conducted house-to-house survey and submitted a report to the Karnataka government. When we compared that survey with the Chinnappa Reddy, we found that Muslims as a class, not as a community, not as a religion, they very much tally with the educational and the social backwardness.
Right.
When they tally after a scientific study and also scientific census, it is proved that they are also backward classes. We will have to include within the backward class reservation concept. They may belong to Muslims, Hindus, or anybody. If they are eligible to become backward class, you can't just because they belong to the Muslims, just because they belong to Hindus, you cannot distinguish. They will have to be part and parts of the backward class package.
Sir, there is a question.
And it was given on that basis.
Okay.
Not on the basis of the religious reservation.
Right. I understand that.
Under the constitution, religious reservation is not permitted. If the Muslim class, as a class, they are eligible to be included, then Hindus also, there is a religion.
Yeah. But my question is that you are the law minister of this country. and you are also know the law very well. The BJP's the major point in this regard is that reservation cannot be given on the basis of religion.
I totally agree. But
Is there any technical ground?
No, there absolutely no technical ground. If this is a backward is taken as a class. If a Hindu caste, the Hindu castes are not given reservation.
Yes.
They are considered as a class and given reservation. Muslims also, they are considered as a class, given reservation. If the Muslim as a class is not considered, then Hindu as a caste also cannot be considered. So and it has to be a uniform, because under the constitution it is permitted. Right. This has gone up to the Supreme Court at that time. For last, I ceased to be chief minister in 94. Then 94 onwards it is in practice. Whether it is the election to the local boards, Jilla Panchayat, corporation, municipalities or anything, or for the jobs and also education, they enjoyed this reservation along with the Hindu as a class. How can you say today that the religious reservation?
So I have just two queries in this regard, and we'll move forward. My first query is that there are few people here who claim that this was implemented by Devegowda, and you said that it was implemented
93
by
Devegowda, or 93 or 94, Devegowda was not a chief minister.
It was you.
But that government order is there.
But was there any role of Mr. Devegowda in this reservation?
No. He subsequently continued the reservation.
Okay. That's okay.
Even this government continued the reservation.
My second question is, will you, because you are propagating this reservation thing very strongly, though, will you implement it again if in case Congress form government?
If the reservation order, they are included. If they are included in the reservation order, it has to automatically come but there is a provision to review all these backward class reservation every 10 years. Because according to the Indira Sahni judgment of the Supreme Court, they said every 10 years you can review.
It will be reviewed.
Then it is only after a review, if you find that any class included in the OBC order, including the Muslims, if they found they are socially and education, but they can be removed. That is not the finding of this government. They have not conducted any census.
Oh,
there is already a census available, conducted by the state government, which they have not gone to it. If
it
that
was your
census
government, it was your government, Congress government, but it was not
they are
released.
Not implemented. So, and did they publish it? Suppose we find Muslims are educationally, Muslim as a class are educationally and the socially backward, they are entitled to remove. Okay. And when they are not, if they are backward, you cannot remove it. You cannot discriminate, because under the constitution,
I understand.
By religion or through caste, you can't distinguish and discriminate people.
True. My next question is because you use very strong word like they are illiterate because they don't have any understanding, they don't have any
understanding of the constitution, understanding of the rules of the game.
There is another statement made by the senior leader of Congress party, Mr. Siddharamaiah, who said reservation should be at level of 75%. 75%. Now, I just want to ask you, being a senior Congress leader, is this possible in any way? Reservations upper limit should be 75%, and is there any scientific any census or survey in this regard?
Should because be 75%? That is why we insist that there should be under the national survey, which is now due. They can also have the OBC census to be taken. If the OBC census is also included in that, we are insisting for that. ACC has insisted. Even other corporate, there was a conference called by M.K. Stalin at Delhi on social justice. I also participated in that. And we are all insisting that if there is no, because in the Supreme Court recent days, they said, I think in respect of Haryana or Madhya Pradesh, they said, without data, you cannot give reservation. So data can be collected by only the national census. That is more objective.
So before collecting data, how can he said that 75% should be the
can be. Because the state we are conducting earlier.
You are taking 2 yardsticks for Amit Shah and Siddaramaiah.
No. Siddaramaiah is right. I am also right. Because you remember they have exceeded the Karunanidhi in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
They exceeded 50%.
Yes.
I also put 72% actually, according to the data given by the Chinnappa Commission and also Minority Commission. I raised it to 72. Then Supreme Court said, no, you cannot do it. So I confined to 50%. What Siddaramaiah says is logical. Because here there are more than 75% backward classes. If they are 75% of the backward classes, they are eligible. On the scientific data available, you cannot deny that, but provided, because of the Supreme Court decision,
but sir, where is the
you
data?
have to include that order, backward class order. We have to pass an act here, and we have to recommend to the Parliament to include it in the 9th schedule. That is it. And the Tamil Nadu has included. They included in the 9th schedule. 9th schedule, if it is included, it is allowed 75%.
So suddenly we found that Congress party is making major election campaign is the social justice. Social justice has become the main. Rahul Gandhi is speaking for reservation for the backward classes. Now Siddaramaiah is taking the social justice, and there is no data exact available because census still have to done. Rahul Gandhi is saying कि caste census होना चाहिए. तो caste, is it not good कि first caste census should happen and then you decide कि what should be the percent? What is
no. The injustice has been done to the people, poor people and middle class people, and there are the highest number of people within the poverty line in India when compared to all other countries. That is the statistics available. And today, I used to give the cylinders, gas cylinders, as a petroleum minister. I was petroleum minister. For less, 350 rupees and 400 rupees. Now, what is the price? 1,200 rupees. Then who will bridge the gap? Their income has not gone up. They said, farmers are concerned. We will double the income by 2020. Modi has said. That promise is belied. And in that case, who has to bridge that gap? And otherwise they will starve. So and like that, every inflation has killed the livelihood. Then if you want, for the survey, they have not ordered for survey, caste census or any census.
Yeah.
And do you want another 5 years they have to wait? And they will starve, they will die of starvation.
So my next question is, agar social justice is going to be your major election.
It has to be, because it is a question of a livelihood.
Okay, so
their livelihood itself is threatened.
Sir, let me complete my question. So if it is going to happen, the social justice is going to be your major electoral campaign in next few.
Not only, that is one of the components.
So that is one of them. So there is a comprehension, there is a serious concern among those party, the regional parties whose voter base is totally based on the social justice, like UP's regional party, the SP, BSP, RJD, other parties. So don't you think the Congress party is trying to make a big alliance, opposition alliance before 2024 general election? This electoral campaign based on social justice can make insecure those regional kshatra, and it will ultimately come against the major alliance which you are trying to make?
No. This is a most irrelevant.
Social justice is
a most irrelevant question. I am telling you this. Because why? Because social justice, our main plank of Indian National Congress. You should know that backward.
The data we have, the UP SP, BSP is more powerful than Congress party. In Bihar, there is no Congress.
No. You have not understood the whole concept. I am sorry to say.
Yeah.
Because social justice is our main plank. What did Indira Gandhi say? Garibi hatao. Is it not social justice? And all our program, Narega, Mahatma Gandhi, that permanently we have right to livelihood. right to job, employment, right to
information,
food,
right
to food, right to, these are all the social justice planks. And there is not, this BJP has not passed one act where they can promise any social justice. Whereas we have passed series of acts which promises social justice. And so if social justice is not fashioned just because other regional parties are. The Congress has always been on the main plank of social justice. And and Constitution of India, see any sentence, any clauses, any article, any chapter, there is always social justice which has a dominant place. So the Congress is not in competition with anybody.
Okay.
So we are not in competition with social justice.
So you think
Congress as a national party,
you will convince all the
not convince. We are in that and we are in that league.
There is already a consensus on this.
Yeah, there is already a consensus.
Okay. So I would like to move on another very burning question which is always comes to national media is like the communalism. The state is in last, I would like to say in last 5 years, there is a series of communal incidents like Muslim fruit sellers were kicked out from temple premises. There is love jihad campaign going on. There's so many things in coastal region. Their hijab controversy happened. So, do you think these questions is properly handled by Congress party or countered by the Congress party in Karnataka?
No, it is not a question of countering. The question is the social stability. And the peace. The recent 2022, the World Happiness Index. What is the place of India today? Particularly last 9 years, after the BJP came to power. They say that in a social index, we are out of 146 countries. Our India is 136. That means lowest. We are within 10 points, last 10 points. So how can the people will be happy if you create unrest among the society? In the name of religion, in the name of caste. So that is why I am telling you that is unrest has been created in Karnataka. People are quite unhappy. This is a place, where there is a history even in coastal. I hail from Mangalore. Udupi Mangalore region. Because you say that Hindutva and there is all, and that place has a history, wherein there was a Rani Ambakka Devi. Her soldiers or the chieftains are fishermen as backward classes, Hindu fishermen, and also the Muslims. Bari, they are called Baris, Muslims. These two people, they assisted Rani Ambakka Devi drive out Portuguese. Otherwise, Portuguese would have entered India, particularly south. She prevented it. Having driven, it is recorded that heroism of Ambakka Devi, assisted by these soldiers hailing both from the fisherman community and also the Muslim community, that is entered in the records of the British. And British, the Mangalore and South Canara, that coastal region, was the last territory to be occupied by the British because they were afraid to enter that area. Because of that fear created by Rani Ambakka Devi and her soldiers from the Muslim community and also from the fishermen.
But how it happened?
And tell me, that in those regions, particularly South Canara, Udupi and all these regions, out of 15 MLA seats, Congress won continuously more than 4 or 5 terms, we won all the 15 seats. Out of 3 Lok Sabha seats, we had won all the 3 Lok Sabha seats. Out of all the 31 Jilla Panchayat, we won all the Jilla Panchayat, all Taluk Panchayats. This is the harmony which was prevailing. They think that by disrupting the harmony of that region, coastal region, they can capture power. But I don't. The people will see the reason now.
Okay. So, but I would like to know what was the turning point where this harmony went away, and now we are constantly
they created a lot of riots on communal issues.
But where you guys failed? Well, I mean,
Congress failed. It is not a question of failure. You know, you can always disrupt a society. It is not difficult. By act of vandalism, by putting one community against another, it is very easy. But once you set fire to quenching the fire, it requires some time.
Okay. Next question is about the next leadership. I mean, if I go by your words, you said Congress is going to win 130 seats. If that
not
number,
less than that.
Not less than that. And any party need 113 seats to get majority in Karnataka. So you predicted more than 130. 130 से ज़्यादा सीटें. So if that number is coming in your favor, who will be the chief minister? Because the chief ministership is always a constant headache for the Congress party. Media, in everywhere, there's constant.
It is not correct. It is only the media game. So Congress never fought within themselves before the election for the leadership. Congressmen and the leaders, they know very well the selection of leader of the CLP or the chief minister is done only after the election. The AICC observers come here. They will make an assessment of the opinion of the MLAs. Only when the MLAs opine, after obtaining it, then the AICC takes a decision, president. Same thing happened with me also. There are, on my line, hear me. On my line, myself, SM Krishna, and Rajshekhar Murthy. We were in line to become chief minister during PV Narasimha's time.
94.
And I can now say, because Narasimha is not there, he was favoring actually SM Krishna.
Okay.
And the SP Chavan and two other Congress leaders came here. SP Chavan was the Home Minister, Union Home Minister. They made an essay, each one MLA, they discussed with them, and obtained the opinion, then individually, then they reported to PV Narasimha. PV Narasimha said, I am in favor of SM Krishna. You may be in favor of SM Krishna, but Moily has a 90% support among the MLAs because it is on record. Then he has to be made. That is how I was made as chief minister. So despite the fact that the AICC president of that time, Narasimha Rao, and the prime minister of that time had a different opinion.
Right.
That did not count.
So you are telling about the democratic process.
Yeah, it is always.
We always read about Siddharamaiah and DK Shivkumar's fight.
There is no fight. There is no fight. They aspire. Many people may aspire. Any given time, more than 2-3, it is not just given on a platter. Any given time, they aspire. Then ultimately there is a process, systematic process. And after then chief minister was before me, yes, Veerappa was the chief minister. He himself proposed my name after getting the consensus opinion. He himself, in the CLP meeting, Veerappa himself proposed my name for the CLP leader, that means chief ministership. So this is how democratically, when it comes to the democratical process, the Congress leaders always are bound by that.
So you were also ex-chief minister. Am I talking to next chief minister? You could be. Why not you?
I am not interested because I have already become chief minister here. I have already become union minister.
Sir, राजनीति से कहाँ कोई retire?
No, I am not interested.
You are not in
No, I am not interested. No, I don't want because I am also a literary person.
That too.
Write a lot of books.
So, because you mentioned the literary, your literary side.
Yes. I got the highest award, like the Saraswati Samman and the Kendra Sahitya Academy Award. And the Jnanapith institution gave me the Murti Devi Prashasti.
All these are the top league literary awards in India. I would like to, because न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री में बहुत सारी हिंदी ऑडियंस भी है जो कि हिंदी के लोग देखते हैं और सुनते हैं, तो उनके लिए वीरप्पा मोइली की ये किताब है ढोल के नाम से और हिंदी में है ये, तो हिंदी में भी किताबें हैं वीरप्पा मोइली की.
No, even my the epic poem on Ramayana Manveshanam, and epic poem on Draupadi, that is Sirimudi Parikramanam. Then on Jain saint, Bahubali, Gumateshwara. I wrote 3 of them, and 2 of them have been already translated and published in Hindi. And many of my books, I think about more than 12 books of mine have been translated into Hindi.
Nice.
This is one such book.
So this attracts me because I just saw the Hindi books in lots of. There was Kannada book and this was the only Hindi book, so it attracts my attention. I would like to come to politics again. There is a controversy happened over the AICC National President Mallikarjun Kharge said that Prime Minister is a venomous snake. Do you think this was a right analogy to say in this critical time of the election campaign?
No, our AICC President has already come out and said he targeted only the BJP as a party, not Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a party. So he said, he has already said, I meant only not Narendra Modi. He said, he has clarified. And I think they should stop it, it should not But these people, they are some sort of encounter specialists, these BJP people, and their Sangh Parivar. And they target people, when any small, slightest provocation, they
exactly
target
that was my follow-up question. That was my follow-up question. If they are targeting so minutely, then don't you think it will damage your campaign?
They have been doing like this only. Right.
Prime Minister Modi have his own following, his own charm, his fan following. So such campaign, don't you think harm the
these
Congress
fan following is like a bubble. I'm telling you, it's not a permanent, perennial affair. Another point is right from 2014. Narendra Modi has come. He became Chief Minister, continued to become Prime Minister. Only with the encashing upon such bubbles. And that bubble cannot be perennial support for him. Every time some words used by some leaders of the Congress, he wants to exploit it. And that is what I called it, they have become encounter specialists. On that, keeping that word into forefront, they fight election. And, mesmerize the people. I don't think they can fool people, once or 100 times, but they cannot fool people forever.
My last question would be on corruption issues. Your campaign on 40% PCM, it started with huge halla-gulla, but now it's silent. Now that no Congress leader talking about the corruption things.
That's the main plank, number 1 plank against this government, corruption issue. Everybody is talking about it. Because it's not created by Congress. It is created by their own contractor belonging to the BJP party, one Santosh. He committed suicide.
Right.
Naming Veerappa, senior most leader, was a rural development. And he said, this is the corruption.
40%.
Not 2-3 such people committed suicide. Not the Congress contractors, BJP contractors.
And moreover, is there party contractor?
Yeah, party contractor, yes. Okay. Party, no, they belong to the BJP party. That's it. Then again, what happened? There is one Madalu Veerappa, MLA from Chennagiri. Chennagiri, his son was found with the 8 crores cash. It was raided by Lokayukta itself. That means to say, it's not created on air or in vacuum. It is done concrete basis. This is proved. That is why 40% commission is a popular word, because it's a proverbial as far as this government is concerned. Right. Because every MLA deals with corruption. If the cut of 40% is permanently imposed by ministers, by chief ministers, and also the MLAs.
If the 40%, if the corruption is your main electoral campaign, then people will ask, your own leader, D.K. Sukumar, he was jailed for the corruption things also. So how would you counter that allegation?
There is a difference between D.K. Sukumar case and other cases.
What?
There is no such, he has not taken money on a corruption basis. He has acquired property not corruption, because of the business.
You are very smartly saying
No, no,
that
his
corruption is not good,
Do
BJP's
you think
corruption
that,
is bad.
have you heard, you make some research,
Okay.
and if you say, yes, I salute you, there is no such thing as a corruption deed. Yes, he, right from the beginning, he has been in a real estate business. And they can at the most say that, disproportionate assets case they can file.
Yeah.
And they cannot say it's a corruption money. Nobody has said.
Okay.
Have you heard any case pending against him in the Lokayukta or any institutions? No. He must have recklessly acquired property. Not through corruption money. There is no such case that he has...
So you are saying it's disproportionate asset?
Maybe. That he will prove that it is not.
Okay.
But the question is that, it's not a corruption money.
No.
It is, I don't think anybody can compare this case with the Madal Veerappa
40%.
Or Yediyurappa. Yediyurappa had to go, as a chief minister, he had to go to jail because of the corruption report given by the Lokayukta. There is no such thing. You have to distinguish between cases and cases. Suppose I, because of my profession, also through consultations and all, legal profession, I require some property. You cannot call it a corruption. There is also a legitimate way of earning money.
So thank you for talking to us, Mr. Veerappa Moily. And thank you for taking all those questions positively, democratically.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The subscription model is something that keeps Newslaundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to Newslaundry and pay to keep news free, और गर्व से कहो मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें.